They are Missouri's contribution to American military efforts around the world, the B-2 bomber. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jim Reed.
And I'm Angie Bailey. Thanks for joining us. Security is sky high around Whiteman Air Force Base, but a Target 8 investigation shows the buildings protecting those stealth bombers could be a weak spot when the weather turns violent. KOMU's August Gamanga has been looking into the weather threat for 5 months and joins us now with this report. August?
It comes down to a $46 billion gamble. Congressional and military planners have rolled the dice a tornado won't pull off a direct strike on Whiteman hangars. So far, they've been right. In this Target 8 investigation, other bases haven't been so lucky, and Whiteman has had its own near misses. It's the marquee aircraft of the U.S. military. Unlike any other plane in the world, the 21 B-2 stealth bombers, all hangared at Whiteman Air Force Base, help ensure global power for America.
The B-2 is a national asset. It has a capability that is unparalleled in the world.
The sleek, jet black design helps it evade enemy radar detection.
Ability to fly unseen into high-value targets and to kick down the door and take them out.
It made its combat debut during Operation Allied Force in Kosovo a decade ago, flying sorties over Iraq and Afghanistan since then.
Sure can.
Everyday life on post is centered around its service. Many of its men and women live here. Finishing touches are being put on a new suburban-like neighborhood on the base's fringe. The houses are equipped with all things you find in a regular home, and more.
What we're looking at here is a basic storm shelter. It's made out of steel, it's bolted to the floor.
You have 3 locks?
Yes, sir.
A valuable precaution when you consider just how close this base came to being hit by massive tornadoes.
We're also looking at this particular cell right there. That's the area we're concerned with the most.
The Spring '06 killer tornado that skirted the base 2 miles to the north would damage and destroy 100 homes in the Sedalia area. And it wasn't one near miss for Whiteman, but 2, as another twister moved 5 miles to the south. During an interview in March of this year about those storms, an off-camera public affairs officer described what would happen from a tornado's direct hit.
Above 90, the skin would start to come off the buildings. They're not built to be tornado-proof.
KOMU News sent a formal request to base commanders to confirm that assessment. That request ended up at the headquarters of the Air Combat Command in Langley, Virginia. Documents from that headquarters confirmed what we had previously been told, that hangars used to house $46 billion in aircraft are strong enough to withstand only the weakest of tornadoes. Our request to interview Whiteman's commander, Brigadier General Gregory Biscone, was denied due to a scheduling conflict. Instead, Biscone delegated Major Joseph Della Vedova to speak on behalf of the base. You know, this is structural load data from the Department of Defense, provided by the Air Combat Command in Virginia. It says 90 miles per hour. You know, that's a weak F1 tornado. You have 5 levels of tornadoes. That's just the bare minimum.
Have we ever had a tornado hit here?
You have had 2 come closer than last year.
Statistically, it's a very, very small chance, and we are prepared, we are ready, and the B-2 can always fly out of here.
But they did not fly out in March '06, with a killer tornado just 2 miles away.
Many forecasters simply have not seen conditions this volatile for quite some time.
That day started for us actually on a Friday. The actual tornadoes did drop down on Sunday. We informed our wing leadership on Friday that there was a strong potential for severe thunderstorms and tornadoes. The wing did take action. They housed the B-2s and all the other aircraft in their hangars and docks.
In hindsight, it was the right decision. Tornadoes missed the hangars and the planes. But is a direct hit on the hangars the only threat to the planes?
With airplane hangars, the doors are so much bigger than on a typical house. You know, you're going to put a big old airplane in, not just a car like in your garage. So you have huge doors, and these things are notoriously weak. So you get a piece of debris blowing in the wind, hits the door, knocks either the door off or knocks a big hole in the door. It's just going to start blowing up the hangar. So they're really not that good of structures.
Defense Department documents obtained by KOMU News show hangars at Whiteman and other Air Force bases, some hit by tornadoes before, like Tinker in Oklahoma City and McConnell in Wichita, are susceptible to serious damage from even weak tornadoes or strong straight-line winds. If those hangars took 90-mile-per-hour winds, what would happen? What's the structural integrity of those hangars? That's not a hypothetical.
I'm not going to get into how much those hangars can take. What I will tell you is that we built strong structures here.
How strong?
They're strong.
What's that mean? Those who watch the skies and those who watch the planes know what that means.
If you get the shear and turning of a tornado, not much can protect the assets inside those hangars.
They made 21 of them. They're not going to make any more. To make more, they'd have to rebuild factories or find other factories, make the tools all over again. They'd be gone forever. You would not replace these aircraft.
On 2 occasions during our nearly hour-long interview with Major Della Vedova, he said Whiteman was, quote, fortunate that it had not ever been hit. But fortune might not be something the American public wants to bet on.
Wow. Quite a story. August, do you highlight the issues at Whiteman? Does the issue actually ever repeat itself?
Well, actually, Angie, all across the country. We have Department of Defense documents that show bases throughout Tornado Alley all rated for only very weak tornadoes. What's disturbing is we found Air Force bases that had been hit by tornadoes before, in one case multiple times, yet the hangars were no stronger. And in our next installment of the $46 billion gamble, we take you to 2 of those bases.